All right, there we go. All right, you guys should be able to see me now. We should be showing as live. We'll watch for YouTube here. Just make sure. Uh, give it a second. Oh, I might have a. Let me turn that on Discord too. Turn on camera. Let's see. I don't know if my camera is going to show up on the Discord. Oh, yeah. Okay. I'll just turn it off that way. All right, perfect. All right, so we should be showing as live. Nope, that's no. YouTube, I did not want to learn more about things while I'm live streaming. Thank you very much. What's that, Lawrence? Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Well, welcome to week 2 of the season 7 of the WOSCRL Showdown Series. I'm your host, Bobby Patrica. I did not race tonight. I had a prior obligation. I was not able to make the start, but I was able to pop in and kind of watch the end of the race. Do have a couple of people joining us here, though, that were on the track tonight. I've got Lawrence Shaughnessy and Nikki Bobby. Lawrence, how'd your night go? Oh, I'm an idiot. Hang on.
I was gonna say.
There. Let's try that. Now does the audio work?
All right, we got points.
On audio.
Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, now I had it muted in Wavelink. There we go.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, I don't know how much of my intro went out or not. I'm pretty sure my mic went out. So Lawrence, how'd your night go?
A lot better than I had expected, honestly. I expected to be sitting in the cheap seats about lap 20 drinking beers. But that didn't come to fruition. We had a pretty good night, just worked on saving tires the whole time, made a couple strategy calls. That didn't really pan out. Better to have too many tires than not enough. And managed to bring her home P5. Had a pretty fantastic battle with Oscar at the end. Almost had to teach that boy the second rule of stock car racing. If you understand that reference, you understand it. If you don't, well, I'm sorry. But we raced clean to the end, and had an overall pretty good night. What about you, Nikki?
Had a good first half of the race, and then I guess I hired Team Ferrari for my strategy, made 3 very bad calls, and ended up a lap down, I think P13 or 14.
Yeah, I saw you. I mean, I saw you up there all night early on. Matter of fact, you drove around me while I was just holding the lineup.
Yeah, I know I got stage points too, so that's 2 races in a row. That always helps. See how it pans out.
For sure. Bobby, how was your race? Oh, wait.
I'll tell you what I did do tonight. So my wife's birthday is tomorrow, and so we had a bunch of family and friends come over. I cooked up a bunch of food for everybody, cooked some carne asada on the griddle, and had ourselves a good time. Just couldn't make it in here for the start, but gotta keep the wife happy, right?
Heard that.
Oh yeah.
Well, we missed you out there. Probably could have used an extra caution in there somewhere.
I guarantee I'd have helped you out for at least 1 or 2.
This thing was tough to drive tonight. I'm gonna just go on and tell you right now that was rough.
Points are done.
Points are done. Do we have any guests yet? Where are the boys? Where are the boys?
Nobody there.
I'm being called a boomer in the YouTube chat.
I got nobody
Be okay.
nobody popping in for interviews. So let's go ahead and so we'll pull up our finishing order here first. Let's see.
Might have a Bryce Shoemaker appearance in a little bit.
There we
Charge his
go.
mic, but
All right, so
could commit Luke Duran to jump in.
I am working on a different way of showing the race results. I was trying to play around with it earlier when I had a few minutes. I couldn't. I'll get with Skylar here at some point and see if I can figure out a way to show it broadcast style the way that they do it on the broadcast. But in the meantime, I can pull it up here on our replay screen. We've got Aaron Smith taking the win, the yellow banana, bringing it home P1. We've got...
Surprise.
Yep, no surprise there,
right?
if we're being honest.
We're gonna sound like a broken record all year long.
Yeah, no kidding. Aaron actually, by the way, I think we're going to have to watch out for him here in these Gen 4s this year. He ran the World 600 the other night and brought it home P11 in the big...
Only P11?
Well, he started in like the 30s, I think. So
he started shotgun on the field.
Shotgun on the field? Yeah, I did.
He started 42nd.
I didn't get a chance to catch the whole thing, but I was watching Garrett Smithley's stream, and all of a sudden I saw a yellow banana on the screen. I was like, "Hey, wait a minute!" I did the Leonardo DiCaprio in the chair, going, "Hey, look!" So, anyways, yeah, Aaron Smith is our winner tonight. Joseph McCorder bringing it home second, taking advantage of the fact that Mark Whitley did not make it for tonight's race. So, Joseph trying to take advantage of as much as he can of getting as many points as he can without Mark here. Luke Doran coming home third. Chris Stouffer, fourth place. I believe he was top 5 last week too, right? I don't have that up on my screen, but yeah.
Chris finished third at Daytona.
Yeah, so it's been a couple seasons since we've had Chris Stouffer here in the league, but he's definitely jumped right back into it. 2 top 5s to get his season started off. Our man himself, Lawrence, bringing it home P5 for thinking he was going to be in race control, did pretty good. So there's your top 5. We've got Oscar Jensen, Jonathan Smith, Bryce Shoemaker, Alan Wilson, and Gary Smith finishing out the top 10. 2 more cars on the lead lap at the end. Nick Osipek in 11th. Tristan Ferris in 12th. A few cars a lap down. We had Nicky Bobby in 13th. Keith Shoemaker 14th. Jacob Hubry in 15th. Then we go 2 laps down. We have the 07 of Tim Hendry. 3 laps down, the 47 of Jim Foskett in 17th. John Barry in 18th. Looks like these last couple of guys are going to be out of the race for a variety of reasons. So John Barry 18th, Brian Foster 19th, and Michael Bussell coming home with a P20, unfortunately. Did Shelton take the green flag or no?
I do want to make a note that Ben Shelton made it all of about 70 feet past the start-finish line before he was junked.
Oh boy, it was okay. I think we're going to get into that. I wasn't sure if it was he got junked on the track or if he got junked by his modem.
Internet was stable, car was not.
Ah, gotcha. All right, so we'll be seeing that here momentarily.
This is for dirt track too.
Yeah, you'd think a guy like that.
He had no cushion to push him back straight.
Right. Low grip. Definitely, God, low grip. The beginning of that race, starting out at 120 degrees on the racetrack.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's hotter than any practice session I ran. I did not expect that at all.
Hot and slick and just not a good time for the first 120 laps of the race.
Do we think the random number generator got us there, or do you think our boys in setting up the session were like, Old Atlanta, Gen 4, watch this?
Well, they definitely said in the pre-race notes that the conditions were going to be cloudy. Here's the problem with iRacing is there's partly cloudy or mostly cloudy. There is not just cloudy. No fault of theirs, obviously. You know, the ambient temp and everything was right, but it was just hot. A lot of sun beating down on the track, and I think it made it real interesting.
Somebody must have set the weather to Phoenix mode. We were pushing upper 90s, if not 100 today here in Phoenix. So somebody set the weather in Atlanta to Phoenix.
But it's a dry heat, isn't it, Bobby?
You know what? When it's 118 and you're cooking eggs on the asphalt, I don't care whether it's a dry heat or a humid heat. you're cooking eggs on the damn sidewalk. It's hot.
Come hang out with me in Greenville in the middle of July. You'll understand what fucking hot feels like.
Oh,
Jordan Hayden chiming in the YouTube chat. Missed you out here tonight, Jordan. Slick equals fun. Yeah, didn't say it didn't have fun. Well, I did say we didn't have fun, but it's a different kind of fun.
All right. So let's see. So I missed the first part of the race. I think I jumped in around, I think it was around lap 90 or 100. I think it was right as you guys were getting ready to run through a cycle of pit stops. Was when I was able to come on upstairs here and sit down and kind of watch the rest of it. So I have no idea what happened before that. Do we want to get into a race recap here? I hear we had issues right off the start.
Yeah.
You don't have
pretty
to
much press
wait
play
long.
right here.
All right, where do we want to go for that? We want to go spectator view.
Spectators. Yeah.
Spectator view. All right, let's. All right, let's take a look. See what happens when people try to put 800 horsepower to the ground.
And some people decide not to even try.
Uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh, I'm seeing problems already. Oh yes, we have had trouble. All right, looks like that started in row 2. Looks like the outside car there in row 2. Who would that be? Jump a few cars ahead.
Just like didn't go either, but it kind of worked out.
I don't like that view.
I think the 74 lit him up with the straightest wheel on the racetrack, and then I'm not even sure.
Oh, the 26.
Yeah, Oscar lit him up pretty good here, which restarting here, you basically had to just 3/4 throttle it and then short shift into third. And even then you were still like 3/4 throttle until you had enough gear to get up to fourth.
Yeah, I saw
it was rough.
Rice in my rearview mirror in that thing.
I'll tell you who had a tough night getting the car going was the 13. I think he spun the tires on every restart. He didn't wreck. He never wrecked it. But
all right, well let's see. Yeah, from my perspective there, just kind of watching it offhand, it looked like to me the 26 was the first one that got sideways there.
Yeah, he kind of started the chain reaction, and then you can see the 5, who obviously got a much better launch off.
Oh, 74 spins him. Yeah, 74 spins him pretty good there too.
Yeah,
he checks up.
I
He's
had a
able
little
to catch
wiggle
it
behind him too.
The big difference here is Oscar's getting the wheel spin at the top of second, where John just kind of nailed it and chirped them. Because you can see him get loose immediately. I mean, as soon as you got to like 82, 8,300 RPM, that thing would spike 1,000 RPM.
But if he didn't do that, that would have taken out 3 cars instead of 2, or at least 3, maybe more.
Yeah, let's.
That gave them a nice little gap for them to go down in between everybody.
Let's jump on board that. Let's jump on board that 26 Oscar Jensen. Let's see if we can hear that wheel spin, because it looked to me like that thing kicked to the right when it spun, and that's kind of what started all this.
Yep, that left rear hooked up.
Oh yeah.
Yep, grab third, and there it went. He was spinning at the top of second and trying to shift out of it, which, I mean, that's how you do it. But you got 900 horsepower underneath that right foot. You gotta.
And this did not bring out a yellow. That should be noted.
What?
No, it didn't. Nope.
Stayed green. Yes.
Luke is in the poor Luke is in the Discord. Well, I'm destroyed.
Wow.
Came back to finish third, but yeah, he got a big chunk of it. We got lucky with that, or he got lucky with that caution after right around lap 20.
Did you guys say that Shelton had a problem too, or did he make it to the start?
I thought he started, didn't he?
I'm not showing him on the screen.
Think he did. I think that he dropped. I think his internet dropped as we were rolling.
Yeah, because you guys are coming to the green right there, and Shelton's gray. So I'm not
somebody
seeing.
Said that didn't take long when he dropped.
Oh, so maybe.
Yeah.
Because
looking back at the session log, he did drop out right as we're rolling green.
All right. Well, that's That's a real unfortunate way to get the race started, that's for sure. Yeah, and you guys said that did not bring out a yellow, huh?
It
Nope,
did
no
not.
yellow there. I think the next incident's about lap 20.
Oh, wow. Oh, Joseph was loose down there in turn 1 on the first lap. Holy cow.
That 32 was going places at the beginning. I'll give him that. Getting confirmation from Josh that
You okay?
Oh, yeah. That thing getting anytime you're turning the wheel to the right, these turns go left. That is not optimal.
getting confirmation that Shelton did in fact not start the race.
Ouch.
I thought he had. I know he was there at the end of practice and his connection had been good all practice. I didn't see him blink. And then of course we throw them all on pit road or throw them all up on the grid and off he went.
All right.
That log showing lap 18.
Lap 18 for our next incident. All right. So how'd this first run go? If it, went green that whole way, did everybody kept it pretty?
It was
everybody settled in pretty quick, or
there was definitely some guys that were wanting to see how hard they can run it. The 0-1 being one of them. He was fast for about 15 laps. And then he'd fall back off, but that's just kind of how this car works right now.
Somebody
Especially in a place like this.
Somebody here towards the back of the pack just noticed an issue out of the corner of my eye here. Oh yeah.
Who's that?
I think that's Foskett.
He ran good tonight, all the way up until the end. He was always the first car right behind me. Him or Tristan. I had those two in my mirror for.
He recovered from this very quickly. It was like it didn't even happen.
Oh, that's like Tristan jacking him up. Look, okay, so there's the traffic jam of me saving tires, and I think that's you. No, that's Bryce right behind me. Bryce had gotten around me, and then I got back by him like 2 laps later, and I was saving tire. I think I had like a 2-second gap to the guy in front of me, but I wanted to be better on lap 35 than lap 5.
Yeah, looks to me here like Jim has a hard time getting the power going to the ground when the rear tires are off the ground. Yep, just got a little bump there from the 10 of Tristan Ferris and sent him down through the grass. Oh, caught some air there in the grass.
Oh yeah, YouTube chat's gonna be excited about that when we're pulling the hashtag out early this week.
You know what? He kept that Volkswagen Jetta GLI straight going through the grass there.
Fucking Volkswagen. That thing was so hideous in my mirror. While we're kind of just going through this, we're going to pull up one Bryce Shoemaker.
We got
driver. He's come to talk about his adventures tonight. He spent a lot of time around me. So we'll bring him up right
there.
Meow. Bryce Shoemaker, you're on the air. How we doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
Can't complain. Top 5. Didn't get wrecked by the 84 car tonight, even though I was scared of it a couple times. And we had a good night. How'd your race go, buddy? Talk me through it.
I don't know how to describe whatever happened tonight. I was involved in Gary glitching, blinking, whatever. And I got hit by Michael Bustle because I think he wanted to try dubbing and took the sticker clean off. So from that, it was just playing catch up, really, trying to do whatever the leaders weren't. And that wasn't working. And then we finally got that long green flag run and tried to stay out. I think I was going to make it on fuel if there was no caution, but it still would have been like a top 10, like a 10th place. So I can't complain with an 8th place. Very solid, happy with that.
Especially after some trouble at Daytona, I'm sure. Finding yourself in the top 10. We're watching you pass me on screen right now. I'm pretty sure you're the only car I let go by me on the inside while I was trying to save tire. You also didn't give me a whole lot of choice. You were a little different on strategy than the rest of us. I think you had pit at lap, basically the caution right before we got that long green run.
Oh yeah. I don't know what happened.
The strategy.
I think Brian hit the apron and slowed down a lot, and it was basically Brian, me, and Oscar spinning at once. So I took fuel from there, and that's just what gave me the extra 15 laps of fuel, I think it was. I think that's the only thing. I just ran it out every cycle.
Had
until
you
that
taken
final
tires on
caution.
that stop?
No, I did not. No.
Okay. Because I was looking at lap times, mine versus yours, obviously, because that's the data that I have.
Every
And-
time I make a call like that and don't take tires and then end up at the end of the race with an extra set, I'm so freaking mad at myself.
Yeah, I feel you there.
This was one of those races.
I was like me last week at Daytona. I didn't want to take that set of tires because I burned one on lap 5, and then I was like, "We're really gonna run 80 laps to the end, green flag, and I'm gonna have not taken tires on my pit stop, and this is really how this is gonna go." And then I got lucky. We had a lapped car decide to change things up last week, and that kind of saved me last week for sure.
It seems to be a trend because as we go through this race recap, we're gonna find that
Uh-oh.
spoiler alert, we're gonna find that we had another lap car influence the finish of the race by bringing out a yellow. Wasn't the same lap car, but a familiar face was definitely involved. So what did you think? We got our first, Bryce. What'd you think? We got our first real race underneath us in this car. I say real because Daytona we're still running like
Super speedway.
as much horsepower as my fucking Mazda 3. And what do you think of the car? Did you enjoy it tonight? I know you turned a bunch of laps during the week leading up to it. What'd you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was everything I honestly expected it to be. I knew we were going to struggle on the restarts, and you can ask Nikki. I called it on lap 1, that first start of the race at the field wreck. Yeah. It was everything I expected. The tire management was fun. That was fun to go through. Comers and goers for sure. It provided an interesting race. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought the split strategy was interesting.
Yeah, that was about when I jumped in, was like around lap 90 or so, and that was the first thing I noticed as I jumped in, and I'm hearing McWhorter pitting, Aaron Smith pitting, and I'm trying to quickly catch up and see what's happened, and I see Bryce you ran what, about another extra 10 laps or so?
And we were all on different stop strategies.
I
really feel like no one was on the same strategy tonight.
Yeah, exactly. I noticed that. It was really jumbled up there towards the end of the race. You were out there a bunch, and then you came in and pitted. Other people then rose up to the top, and then they shuffled again.
Yeah, for sure.
So how do you feel that the strategy plays? Like, do you feel like you learned a lot from doing those? Like, even if they weren't necessarily the right move, do you feel like they were worth doing that strategy play, or do you kind of wish you'd change things up a little bit?
To be honest, I'm 100% happy with how that played out. I mean, the real call there was hoping for a caution at the end, and that's exactly what happened. I think without that, I'm finishing 10th, 11th, 12th. So, I mean, it really honestly saved my dad because I didn't get no stage points at all because of the first caution where I got involved in. So, yeah, the strategy just helped. It saved my dad, to be honest.
Yeah, I was gonna come up over the radio, Bryce. Was right behind you when that caution came out. I was gonna come up over the radio and tell you that just saved your ass because we were getting ready to all us guys on fresh shit were getting ready to come around you.
Yeah, I was 2 laps short. I was saving that whole final run.
Yeah,
So
I noticed you were about 2 seconds slower, and I was like, I got just enough time to come around.
I was throwing the clutch in on corner entry, and I was half throttle down the straightaway. That's for the last 20, 25 laps. My fuel calculator said I was going to make it, but I had to do that every single lap to the checkered.
Right. And what about that last restart? You had gotten by me at one point, and then I looked in the mirror, and you weren't there anymore after I got back around you.
Oh, I had the toe knocked out of it. I was turning left down the straight
Okay.
all race long, so I actually went 100% for the first time, and it was like 3 laps later, the right front was completely gone.
Oof.
Yeah, I
I
was
know.
just hanging on.
I know my right front, like 3 to go. I'm trying to pass Oscar, and I'm like, this thing's not turning anymore. And I somehow
Oh,
managed to keep the car clean all night and still
that was a hot battle
roasted the
right
right
there.
front. That was fun. It was definitely a good time. You know, I
Yeah.
talked a little bit of trash in the radio on the radio, but it's all in good fun. You know, no hard feelings from Oscar tonight. Or for Oscar tonight. He had also PM'd me that he was in a bad mood, understandably so. The guy goes out there and qualifies fourth and manages to wad it up on
The first 100 feet of the race.
First 100 feet of the race. I'd be pretty upset too.
Across the
Hey,
start
that's crazy,
finish
'cause
line to
Oscar
take the
was-
green flag pointed to the right. That's usually never a good way to cross the finish line, to take the green flag.
I'm honestly shocked Oscar made that mistake because we did a restart practice in our practice. What was it, Thursday night? That learned a lot right there. That practice session.
Are you talking about the restart, the practice restart, where all 5 of us crashed getting on the
Basically,
throttle?
yeah.
That
Yeah.
one?
Because that
So
was
basically
that was
art imitating
hilarious.
life here. And
They all wrecked, and somehow I got through it.
Yeah, that was. I kind of wish that we'd had a. Actually, I think I did save the replay. I should go grab the replay from that at some point, just because it was just hilarious. We're like, all right, we're going to practice a long green flag run here. We got 5 of us. Let's do. You know, we're 2 by 2. We're coming down, and the moment all 5 of us hit the gas, 2 cars are pointing to the left, 2 are going to the right. One's in the fence. Like,
I was not expecting. I'm not gonna lie. That practice never happens. I'm making that same exact mistake, and I'm wrecking out the field on lap 1 too.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna
I
lie.
had never started it.
Exactly why
I
I-
lit the tires up on the first restart. I just managed to keep it straight because as soon as the thing went from
I
6,700 RPM to 9,000, I was like, oh, this isn't good.
had a little wiggle on that restart too.
A lot of horsepower, no grip. I'm taking a look at the waiting room.
Bryce
There's
got a
a-
good look at my
Uh-oh, who we got hanging out here?
There's an interesting character hanging out down there. I'd love to hear
Aha.
from him. I'm sure he had some adventures back there tonight. We're gonna pull up one Nick Ospek. Buyer beware. There may be some significantly worse language than what you're normally hearing. Yep, Bobby, get the sensor button out. We're gonna need it. Here's the driver of the number 24 Kellogg's car that is on the screen right now, Mr. Nick Ospek. Nick, unmute your mic. You're on the air, brother. Brother.
Oh, I gotta turn people now. Hold on. I gotta be a good little noodle.
Don't worry,
A little swearing's
got
okay.
the-
We don't need the every
okay,
third
well,
word. So
Well, I haven't been to the Holo this season, so I guess that's a positive fucking note, right? Oh, there we
You
go.
almost got there.
yeah, we're
One
already there.
sentence. Well,
Yeah, that didn't fucking take long. Right.
How was your night there, Nick?
What?
I heard,
Honestly, so
I
it
saw
started off-
something about the
started off
hauler
like-
in the chat. So
I mean, it started off just me. I mean, I don't practice. I just kind of go into each race and wing it, which probably isn't the best idea, especially at tracks like this where the setup's just ass and tire wear's insane. Start at the back, you know, I don't know what happened there up front. I know Oscar and a few others got together and just rode it out until that stage caution, and then figured that people would stay out, but the leaders pitted, so I restarted 6th, which I didn't want, and then I ran out of talent and spun it, and then had to ride around until 40. I mean, just hung around the back and finished P11, so I mean, I'll take it. Kept
it's
the
not a
car
bad
clean.
night.
Yeah,
It's
kept
not
the
a
car
bad-
clean.
I'll tell you, the trick to running out of talent is not starting with any. That's how I get through half of these. So
I mean,
keep
I
that in
couldn't-
mind moving forward.
I couldn't buy it if it was on eBay.
I will say this, just obviously, and Nick, I missed a good chunk of the first half of the race, but considering we ran about 250 miles tonight in the Gen 4 car, first race in the Gen 4 with the full horsepower on probably one of the hardest tracks, coming home on the lead lap is, that's definitely an accomplishment. That's for sure.
I didn't think I was gonna make it more than 20.
That's what Lawrence said too. He's like, I'm going to be running race control by lap 20, and he comes home 5th. So Hey, you
One of my
guys
buddy texted me. He
gutted
goes,
it
"You want
out.
to get drinks?" I said, "Yeah, give me 20 minutes. I'll be down there." He goes, "Where are you?" I said, "We ain't gonna make it." So,
Sounds like
yeah,
you had an interesting night back there.
it
Any
was.
beef? Anything spicy you wanna bring up? Anybody
Did-
you're mad at?
Or were you involved in
no.
any incidents that we need to go take a look at?
Nah, I like beef.
No,
This is WOSCRL Court right here, buddy.
No, I was back there with Tristan's dumbass and Jacob, and Jacob got involved with other people's shit, and I
I
didn't
saw
have to.
Tristan. I don't know if he bounced off the wall or what, but he doored the hell out of somebody.
Oh, we got something. Oh, we got in the replay here. I'm seeing an 84 car sideways, so
That was
that might be a
Bryce
good point to pause
Michael
this
Buss.
replay. Oh yeah, I see.
This was our next caution.
Oh,
This was,
okay. Let's say
Gary-
I'm
Look at the
seeing
link,
a.
yeah.
Oh, that's not optimal to jump to the replay at that point right there. And there's a Napa
There's
car.
supposed to be a green and yellow car in there somewhere, but
That's what you call Napa know-how.
Star
This is Michael Waltrip level right here.
StarNet was not good to Gary Smith tonight. So.
See, like I said, I was involved in anybody's shit, and what do we have coming up?
Oh.
I'll knock some heads. I'll knock some heads at Bristol. That'll be fun.
Yeah, this is what happened here.
I'm already seeing an issue here, and that involves the internet connection of the 97. So let's take a look and see what happens here. Oh, he's gone.
You know what?
He's
I will start some
gone.
beef, actually, I will start some beef.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's not good.
That was.
And by the
that
way,
was
if we're gonna have beef, I do have a sound effect for that. Here we go.
Arby's.
We've got beef, motherfuckers!
It's Travis.
Well,
Good old
Nothing better,
Moonhead.
bro.
half the time I was around.
Didn't we have a wreck with this same issue last week?
Who's the 60, Bobby?
Brian Foster.
Brian Foster.
Bro, no idea what he's doing. 95% of the race, no fucking idea. I was
Oh.
around him, and then I don't know who I was. I think he got involved with Jacob or Tristan. They got tied up, and then they're in my ear, and they're like, "I don't know what he's doing. Like, oh, he had so much shit going on at Daytona," and I was like, "I don't know." And then I saw it in my rear view, and I was like, "Oh, maybe."
The only thing the 60 had going on at Daytona was a fast repair and then being involved in the next wreck. I'm not really sure.
Yeah,
I don't know.
From what I saw, he was just kind of wrong place, wrong time at Daytona. He got wrecked when I was an idiot and I didn't hear my spotter yelling "car outside" and decided
again?
to turn
That's
right.
Daytona in a nutshell.
That was Daytona. Well, that
You
was
turn your chatter up.
and when
That's just Daytona in a nutshell. What do we
Yeah.
have coming up there? Are we shitty week? Sonoma.
yeah,
fuck
we got
there.
Sonoma.
Michigan, I can finish on the lead lap. Bristol, I'm fucked. Charlotte, we're fine. Dega, Scrapfest. Milwaukee, probably toast. Pocono, be lucky if I make it halfway. IRP, I don't know. Cargoland, can make it on the final lead lap.
I got
What I'm
uh,
hearing, Nick, is you're here for a good time, not for a long time.
Oh, bro, I'm ready. I'm here to cause. I'm here to start some shit.
So Nick, we got somebody in the YouTube chat says, ask Osipek about who he owes one to. What's that about?
Oh, last season I didn't finish the job like I should have, and I fucking. Well, now it's like gonna be pointless because like it's in the next season. It's really, you probably won't even remember, but I'm like, okay, like I'll just wait, and then like, I don't know, I'll wait. I'm sure it'll happen again at Bristol or something. So, it's I don't know. Who's the 47?
Oh, Foskett?
Jim
Oh, yeah.
Foskett.
Dude went balls deep, dude, in Martinsville, and he just shoved me into the wall, and I was like, okay, buddy, and I never got a
Hey,
chance to get back to him.
Lawrence.
God bless Jim, but I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I-
he's on everybody's list.
I have the execute order 66 the first chance I get.
Look, Lawrence,
Dude's gonna meet Dale.
At least he's not driving around a pink cow this year.
That's
Look,
true. The
so-
car's a lot better looking than it used to be.
Lawrence, was that not like multiple seasons ago? Was there like, come on, do we need to draw it? And just so
Oh,
everybody
okay,
knows,
yeah,
this is
we're
kind of
going-
for fun. You know, we have some fun banter back and forth. Like Jim's been in the league since day one, so like we're OG, like we're But like I distinctly remember a Martinsville race where I think the entire field was
Aaron has
like,
pizza.
for the love of God, Jim, do you have a brake pedal?
Fucking okay. So there's
this
the
dude, I'm
Martinsville
telling
race
you.
in the '87, and then look. Preface this comment by saying Jim immediately apologized to me for this, and there's no bad blood between me and Jim other than me trying to drive away from him as fast as humanly possible every time I'm on the racetrack. I Phoenix in the truck, so I guess season 5. It was like the 3rd race of the year, and I'm already mad because we're in the truck and that car sucks. And we're at Phoenix, and we're going down into fucking turn 1. I think it was New Phoenix. The big flat corner as opposed to the small bank corner. This motherfucker just never stops. He's like, oh, the 9 car's slowing down. I'll use his back bumper, and sends me to the fucking moon. I about had to draw this dude a fucking He goes, oh, I forgot there was a corner there. And I was like, what the fuck?
Hey, you want to know something
Lap
funny?
60.
So I was going through my replays like
I'm
after the
talking
race
now.
where the replays like it pops up and it says, "Oh, do you want to save the replay?" And I don't know why. I have a replay and it just says Lawrence sucks. I don't know
That's
why or what
fair.
it is.
Let's see it.
That's fair. I'd love for you to pull it up because I've been here since season 1. Took
We
a
have to
hiatus in
see it
season
now.
3, but
I don't know
I've pissed everybody in the league off at one point or another.
what was this.
Lawrence and I have gone rounds before, I know.
Well, that's
I
because
think-
you suck, Bobby.
Well,
I
I mean,
think we
that's,
You're
all
top 4,
had-
buddy.
that's pretty
you're top
fair.
There.
Recency
one
bias
point
You're
there.
not
really.
wrong.
I know in the trucks everybody hated me. I couldn't keep that thing straight.
Fucking damn truck.
How do you
We're all
not
fucking
keep a
running
truck
3
straight?
inches
It's
away
got-
from each other.
It has 3 horsepower and has 75 tons of downforce. How do you not keep a truck
75.
straight?
I missed a
Because
truck
those
that you could do
iRacing
200 at
setups
Daytona.
have like 40 degrees of camber.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
Josh
okay.
is right.
That's,
I think-
that's fair.
Was it Phoenix in the truck, Nick?
I don't know because I don't know if I was here for trucks. My first season was Xfinity last season.
Oh, it was probably from Phoenix. I think you and I got into it at Phoenix, and just because
To be fair,
the only car I hate more than the truck is the Xfinity car.
I was race control last year for Phoenix, and that was the first time that we actually had to send people home because we had a full field, and it was an absolute catastrophe in so many ways.
Yeah, that race.
Remember, I had to
You're mad at me over
the
that?
restarts.
Come on, bro. That race was a shit show.
The restarts, I had to change them
We
to
had,
single
like,
file because we couldn't
26
make
cautions.
a corner. Yeah, it was.
You're mad at me
Oh,
over that Phoenix race? Come on, bro. You probably ran over 6. Oh, I remember what it was. You and I were door banging because I had run over you on a restart after you ran over me on a restart. And
I don't remember what it is. It's just
That-
me
it-
barely
it
bumping
wasn't-
you, and I don't remember.
it wasn't
And then
a
I
big
got
deal.
ran over by Pena.
Josh Pena ran somebody over?
Christ.
No
Oh,
way.
absolutely fucking ran me over afterwards.
No
Josh Pena
way.
running
Who's-
somebody over?
Who does he run over worse? His diecast customers or look, this dude posts some shit. Okay. Josh is gonna get mad at me for this, and people are gonna clip it and send it to him. If we preface this that I actually have no beef with Josh, except for he's kind of reckless on the racetrack, but it's never affected me, so who gives a shit? But he posted some stuff, some diecast for sale, and Bustle was like, "Oh, what are the prices on this and this?" And I think Bobby asked for one too.
Yeah.
He listed off prices, and I went on eBay, found them $20 cheaper, same car, with free shipping. He was like, "This price plus shipping," and I'm like, "The fuck."
I don't know.
I was offended. You know, that's kind of what Josh does, and that's and the market's kind of weird, and people will pay for shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't blame the guy for trying to make some money, but like, don't gouge out your league mates now.
It was there. I can't remember which one it was, but it was a Dale Jr. car, and I have no idea
like
what diecast cost. So I'm like, hey, I don't know if that's a good price or a bad price. He said a price, and I'm like, I mean, yeah, I mean, maybe. Let me see if I can do that. And then immediately Lawrence sends me a DM and goes, "Don't you dare!"
Look, I have a decent sized collection myself. I just don't want anybody overpaying for anything. And the prices he had listed were way. If you pay more than $30, with the exception, there's like a handful of Dale Jr. cars that are like high value. The Dark Knight car is one of them. But like, if you pay more than $30 for a Dale Jr. diecast before shipping, you fucking paid too much. They made 10,000 of every fucking one of them.
Valid.
And you can find them on eBay all day long for $20-$30. I mean, I'm not even a Dale Jr. Like I like Dale Jr. now, but I wasn't a Dale Jr. fan back when he was racing. And I've got 3 or 4 Dale Jr. diecasts in my shit, and I think I have maybe $100 wrapped up in 4 diecasts, including a race win. So like, if you're paying any more than $30 for a
The
fucking
one I have right here says total production of 30,880.
yeah, exactly. I mean, 10,000 was a very conservative number because I'm thinking
yeah.
of like the
That-
88
For
cars.
that guy.
I've got
Everybody and their fucking brother pre-ordered those cars.
At some point,
Lionel
I
was
got-
like, "Take 'em all."
I need to grab them. I need to get a couple of display cases to actually get them out and displayed. But I've got the old Dale Jr. DMP car, the Dirty Mo number 8 car. It was like, well, I think it was one of the first cars that ever had the Junior logo. I think he ran it at Talladega in like 03. Sounds about right. And they probably have.
It wouldn't have been
they
a Dirty
probably
Mo
made
car, considering Dirty Mo Media
No,
didn't
it was
exist back
no,
then.
it was Dirty Mo
Was
Posse.
it a Bush car?
No, that was his
Oh,
little
I
group.
know
It was,
what he's talking about.
The Dirty Mo Posse DMP, and so that's ultimately why it's called Dirty Mo Media. But this was back in the day.
this
That
thing.
was his like little group. They were called the Dirty Mo Posse.
Yeah, this thing. I'm pretty sure. What's that say? Oh, they only made 5,000. Oh, that's an elite. So they made 5,000 elites, which means they made approximately 80,000 cars. So
And you know what's fucked up is they sold every single one for like
I'm
$60.
I'm sure they did.
no, back
yeah.
in those days, they weren't that bad. I mean, fucking ARC race win, which is like your standard issue. That's the highest production number. I think I know I'm paying 82 plus tax for the Austin Dillon Daytona win from last year. And they went up from that. They're like $95 for a race win ARC now. And it's just
Oh,
like,
they're
what
they're
the fuck?
unbelievably expensive. Yeah,
And
I've
the
got
quality is junk. Like I have one of the next. I actually went to the Lionel store.
How
And
rare is an Austin Dillon win?
there's been 4 of them. So, and I actually have, or well, I will have all 4. But I found the other 3 reasonably. Well, I'd pre-ordered Texas, but I found the 16,600 and the 18,500 for fairly cheap. I think I've got like $100 wrapped up in that.
probably my
And then I
favorite that
pre-ordered
I was able to grab was, and I wanted it at the time, and I just didn't have a chance to pre-order it, and then I was able to snag it a little while back. Was the Kurt Busch Jordan car, the Kansas win from last
They
year.
made so many of those.
They
bro.
did. I was worried that I wouldn't have a chance to get one, and it was a couple months ago. I saw him, and I was like, you know what, I got to get this because now it looks like that may be his last win, and it's such a cool looking car. I'm like, you know what, I got to get it.
To answer your question, Nikki, this is the 2022 just base Bass Pro car. They made 504 of them.
I fucking pushed a button.
You pushed a button. Nikki is stoned. Okay, now that we've gone off on our first tangent of the night,
And meanwhile, down in the bottom corner of the screen, I've got poor Bustle's been turning right head on into the fence here for about 20 minutes.
my man was mad. Came out. Look, my dude.
I'm surprised he stayed as long as he did. I thought he would have. If that was me, I'm gone.
So
Like, I'm not
Bustle's
riding
been
around.
known to blow his engine at a track, sit there for the 30 minutes it takes to repair, and then come out and finish the race.
Yeah.
This
Nah,
was
fuck
this.
that. I'm gone. I'll see you boys next weekend.
Yeah, we'll
If
see
you
ya.
watch to the end of this wreck, that dude is chugging black smoke down the back straightaway. And he came out and he was 41 laps down, but goddamn it, he was the fastest car on the racetrack when he got there until he passed Alan Wilson and completely stalled because he ruined his shit. But we're not going to go there.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened to Wilson?
Nothing. No, well, he fenced himself towards the end of the race, but Michael, when Bustle had come back out on the racetrack, he had gotten as far as Allen in like 6th during that long run,
Oh, man.
and then was proceeded to hold us up. Poor John Barry was in everything tonight.
Oh, he was in the fucking midst of it, and it sucks because he's usually pretty fucking quick
Oh, here
everywhere.
I come. Wow,
here
horse.
comes Bryce.
Oh, man.
Oh, so that's how you got the right side damage.
Yeah.
I just want you to know, Bryce, that's the second wreck you've just drove into in 2 weeks.
Didn't have a brake pedal, dude, or what?
I mean, I thought they were
He's got
setting
him
up
locked down there.
There was some jackass coming up the fucking racetrack at Daytona last week, and here comes Bryce.
You know who was good at
Go to
that
the
last year?
cockpit.
Keith.
Fucking
I guess I'm taking over
watch
that
me
role.
crash and save it down in the fucking apron and still manage to come up and just annihilate me. That's not your fault at all, but I'm going to blame you for it.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I mean,
thought you
was
were going to
slowing
come
down
up and
everything.
kill me, bro. And then I had the fucking 10 behind me. Oh my, I thought I was dead. I thought I was getting shoved right into it.
I'm not gonna lie though, I'm like fuming red because I knew Gary was blanking. I'm the one who got his ass in this league to begin with. So, and it's cost me 2 weeks in a row now.
So what do we
To the victor
like?
goes the spoils, I guess.
Do we all need to like all send like $5 for him to get a new modem? Like I feel like that may not be
You know,
a
that'd
bad
be useless. You
investment.
just go buy tracks with it.
It might.
He said he's trying to get an Ethernet cord or whatever.
I was gonna say, yeah, we can send him an Ethernet
Oh,
cord first to
God.
get him off the Wi-Fi.
My buddy, I've got a 1,000-foot spool of Cat 6 back in another room that I've only used
Fuck,
about.
you have that? Never mind. I'm not even gonna ask.
He said
I've
he was
only-
into.
Never mind. I don't care.
He
I
said one
ran
of
some
his
hard
hobbies
wires.
is networking.
He's stripping the copper and selling it so he can buy it.
How much copper are you gonna get from Cat 6 cable?
Trust me. If
Not a lot.
if
That's why
I
he's got
was
1,000 feet.
if it was any of those, I'd be a lot skinnier than I actually am right now. So
Oh, he's selling copper for weed. That's weird. Isn't that shit legal in Arizona? Can't you just swipe your credit card for that?
actually, we are legal now. Arizona is a full legal state. I actually have. Oh, you literally just gave me an idea. Never mind. Off stream, we'll talk about that.
It's legal. Fuck it.
It's illegal.
okay.
And I don't. It's legal, and I don't have a job right now. So
Sounds like a perfect reason to start fucking. Oh man.
all right. Anyways,
is
let's back
devolving.
on. Yeah, that's back on track here. All right. So that was our first incident. That looks like that was the. By the way, in case if he's left, thanks Nick Osipek for joining us here. And
No,
I think I
he's
heard
still
him
here. He's just
say.
muted and deafened.
I heard somebody say in the background that they had to take off, but I'm not sure if it was him.
Looks like he's muted.
Yeah,
But
big
yeah,
thanks to
that's-
Nick for not swearing as much as I thought he would. Props. And for the record, no bad blood with Pena. I'm just talking shit.
Oh yeah.
Because allegedly he'll be back at some point. So the last thing I need is the 22 driving over my ass.
Well, yeah. So that's pretty much the only blame that can be put there is on 97 for not having an Ethernet cord. Oh man, that's
Aaron says he needs some of that
so
Cat
bad.
6. By the way, that's his prize for winning this week. He wasn't in the dash for cash, but he gets some of Bobby's
You-
1,000 feet of Cat 6 for whatever godforsaken reason.
USPS flat rate box. I'll make it happen.
That's a
Yeah,
big
that's-
ass flat rate box.
Wait, I didn't. Is he saying he needs all 1,000 feet? I'm not sending 1,000 feet. What the hell?
you gotta put ends on it for him. Send him about 60. and put
I've
ends on
got-
it for him.
I've got all the shit to do it. That's why I bought it.
Oh Lord,
Make my own cables.
that's weird.
Never has a connection
it's-
issue. We know why.
Yeah, it's my crimp job.
Spent all his money on the cable. Is just using electrical tape to put the ends on.
Yes, there you go.
Didn't
Just
have anything left over for the wired crimpers.
using twist nuts from Home Depot.
Oh heavens! Get this guy an electrician.
All the
All right,
more
so I think
all
the
the more
next
dangerous
caution-
that I have an electric car that I plug in every couple of days.
I hope it doesn't spontaneously combust and throw the battery through your
I've
roof of your
got the-
garage.
I wasn't responsible for any cautions this race, so I'm fucking proud. Oh, there we go again.
That's
Bristol
a
will be another
first.
story. Bristol will be another story. So no, there's
Nick
no
goes
caution
to
at
pick.
Sonoma, right?
Unless the track is blocked, and Skylar's definition of the track being blocked, if we take ourselves all the way back to season, what was our first season with the ARCA car? Season 3?
Season 4, I think. That's when I came in.
So,
Yeah,
okay,
did we do,
season,
yeah, we did. Do we do 2 years or 3 years in the 87s?
I think we did 3 years in the 87s.
Oh, you
I
guys are
came in at the
wild.
end of the first year of the ARCA.
Those cars were so good when they first came out, and they just fucking ruined them. Either way, Skylar's definition of the track being blocked at a road course is Jim Foskett wrecking in the S's at Watkins Glen all by his damn self, the whole field going by, and then
That
the
was
caution
like
gets
my
thrown.
second race with you guys.
That's his definition of the track being blocked?
Apparently.
I mean, I could possibly do that. It's
And
very...
to note that wreck, I was able to get through them. Right.
It was season 3.
Caution
I thought
came
it was
out.
season 3. I thought it was season 3. But yeah, that pissed me. That race pissed me off. That's another one that I should have like 5 wins in this league, and they're all super speedways and the Watkins Glen S3. But I was trying to lap Michael Bustle, and he didn't get the fuck out of the way in the last corner, and I shifted weird and lost to Luke. There's a theme in my early WOSCRL career where I was just losing to Luke all the fucking time.
There was some clown last year at Sonoma, and I don't know who it was.
Was
I
it the
could see him
clown
stuck
driving the
behind
pace
him.
car?
That was a clown for sure.
I can't wait for you
No.
guys to try to drive behind the pace car this next
Who was
week.
it? I don't even know if the dude's still in the league. Like, oh, I know who it was. It's Dante Jackson. I've never been so irritated with the driver being behind him before.
100% agree.
Don't even get
I
me
was-
started.
Oh, there were so many times I told Joe, I said if I get to him, I'm punting him. So I'm absolutely sending him. Doesn't matter what track is that he's gone. That dude would like all of a sudden be 2.5 seconds ahead, and then like be in my way, and then cause me to use my tires up, and like I can't be past him, and I was like, dude, I'm over it. Like he's getting scrapped.
Rick Ware speed, Ryan Newman hard to pass. Dante Jackson in a fucking nutshell, bro. I swear to heavens. He had a couple of good runs, thought he was hot shit. I actually saw one of those guys from that team in an A Open practice, and I was like, thank God I got my rating up. Anywho, this wreck created an interesting strategy call. We got like a 50-50 pitters versus non-pitters.
No, this basically
And-
started the weird pitch
I was the
strategy for this
pitter.
race.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what threw everything off.
Oh, this is what screwed me. This is where I ended up like restarting 6th, and then I ran out of talent, I think, and then yeah.
So we have an immediate caution after this restart.
I wasn't the
Yeah.
caution. I did spin, but that was when Jacob and Chris.
This is.
It's Christopher. I don't know why the fuck it's Christopher. It's Christopher. Got
I'm interested
together.
To see
I had never thought about that before, but now I can't unsee it.
Oh
so
my
thanks for
God,
that.
I've never thought. Yeah, but
It's
he
Christopher.
yeah. God bless
it's not
America.
Christopher.
I've
But
literally
his last
always-
name is Stouffer.
So his parents thought that they were going to play a really funny joke when they
Ooh.
named him.
Could be worse. He could be just the letter X.
Or his last name could be Trickle, and his parents named him Richard.
Damn it.
He was a great stock car driver.
He was a phenomenal stock car driver who
Dick
gets.
Trickle.
Oh man. Does anyone else? We're going to go off on the side tangent real quick. Does anyone else remember on Sports Center back in the day in the early '90s? Those of you that were
No,
alive.
Bobby. Most of us weren't alive in
yeah,
the
I'd
early
say
90s.
most of you
Thank
weren't alive. It was always a punchline on Sports Center. Like they'd be, and today's race at Dover, Jeff Gordon wins, Dale Earnhardt second, and Dick Trickle was 26th. Like they would, I think it was when Keith Olbermann was on SportsCenter, he always made it a point to mention where Dick Trickle finished, even if it was the most random, inconspicuous. He didn't do anything of note in the race. He would get a shout out every week on SportsCenter. It was
You
the
know, Steve
broadcast,
Levy
they always
running
called
the
him
prime
Richard.
time. You know, Steve Levy in the primetime Sports Center is just like, I said dick. It just seems like a Steve Levy thing to do, you know? Okay, yeah, we're at an hour already, and we've only gotten through like half the shit we want to do.
oh god, we're only on lap 20 of the replay.
Well, the good thing is we had a really long green flag run.
That's
Hey,
true.
Did y'all ever watch that show, the 70s show?
Never.
Eric's
Never heard of her.
Eric comes, the fucking son comes in and he goes, oh, did you meet Dick Trickle? And the mom just goes, Eric. And he looks and he goes, that's his name.
Yeah, I've seen that clip. Yeah, that's
Absolute comedy.
because they're
It's actually
because the
from
show's
the
based
area.
out of
Yeah.
the show's based out of Wisconsin, and that's where he was from. Yep.
Did we
That's
hit a-
hilarious.
Did we hit a caution like right after the restart? for the stage,
Immediately.
too?
Yeah, it was Christopher and Horby got together on the backstretch. And then
Horbury?
Barry,
That's
Yeah.
a good one.
it's Hor. And then who else? Barry got involved in that one too, I think. John Barry, unfortunately.
God damn.
Well,
you
there was a
gotta get rid of
wreck. John wasn't fucking involved in it.
There was
I'm
one of
telling
these
you.
where I had a 2X show up and then a bunch of people were crashing behind me. I wonder if I caused it.
Bobby, you can skip the 40. We went green to the stage.
Oh, green to the stage. Okay.
Yeah.
No, it was
No, there's
it was a
something
caution
right
on
away.
24.
No, it was
Oh, was there?
immediately.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
On
That's
this
right. That's
restart.
right.
It's literally this lap.
That's right. I'm sorry. I forgot because that actually played into the guys that stayed out hands really well.
Yeah, you guys got to get your positions back.
No, we
Where-
just were
where
able to
did
score
it,
stage
uh,
points.
Where should I be
Am I out
looking?
there? Oh, look, you can see me run out of talent up there. Telling you. It happens.
Let's take a look at the 24 Kellogg's Chevy and see what happens.
It restarts were so trash.
Talk about a cursed paint scheme right
It's
there.
either that or I'm junking somebody.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
I shifted down and I had the full throttle. Either that or I was junking the field. And I chose a full throttle and not hit nobody.
Spin it down in the grass. Get out
Did
of the
you
way.
downshift it or did you shift up and spin?
It's crazy because I actually started, like, I got the RPMs going and I shifted early. So I was up in third at that point. But when I gave it full throttle,
Oh yeah.
when I got full throttle, it's when I just kicked out. Ass end kicked around.
Yeah, watch this cockpit. You'll see me about come around too. There it went.
Oh wow. Yeah. He did try
good
to short
job.
shift it.
Keeping it down. I mean, can't ask for a whole lot more than that. And caution was out by turn 2 at that point.
Oh, yeah. No, I went on the backstretch and it was just a scrap fest on the back.
Yeah, something big shit happened towards the back. I didn't even see it. And nobody, apparently we're all just being nice to each other when we crash now because it's not how this league used to be. Or maybe it's just me not getting involved in as many wrecks, but there used to be a lot more swearing.
Oh, there it is. I can see the
Oh, yeah,
51 going.
The 13 just driving over the top of them.
A 51 looks really slow in the middle of the corner here. Oh wow, yeah. Look at how
Well.
much he's.
Saving tire.
Yeah, this is where the 60 made a very questionable choice.
Oh, there's some Tristan up here getting a really slow restart too. Did he stay out? Was he on
Yeah,
old
he stayed
tires?
out, and I don't know if he reacted to me lighting my shit up, or I think he just lit his shit up on his own because I hadn't even lit my shit up at that point. He John forced it down the front stretch here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the moment he got on the throttle, the thing's spinning tires.
And then he gets back in it and lights him up again here, I think. I know he just fences it. He didn't do anything.
And then, well, but that's kind of what started. If you go back here to
Me.
where
No,
around
I
where
died.
Hubry is,
I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Well,
I
okay,
mean,
so
Nick's
51.
I
crashing.
slammed my brakes off.
There's McWhorter diving to the bottom. They're 4 wide in turn 1. That's not a good sign. 51 is
Huber just
struggling
looked
to
up
get
at
off
his
the corner.
I think the 51
Oh,
just looked up
man.
at his mirror and
Oh,
saw the
no.
32 with places to go and said, I'm going to make sure I get a good exit and not mess him up.
And I'm working
Got
on
to give the guy credit. He tries to stay out of the way. even
working
if
on
it
the
causes accidents.
on the Fox production resume by focusing on one car while everyone else crashes.
Yeah, the only guy that didn't wreck right there was Nubru because
Oh, when we
Oscar
took
got him
off
back
here.
straight.
When the 24 spun, I had to slow down, and that caused that big ass jumble because everybody tried to pass me.
Looks like he tags Oscar.
I got a 2x for this somehow.
Oh,
Cody Decker's my favorite NASCAR driver, Skyler. You didn't know that? Still finished like third in that race. I just remember being mad because I was dominating and then I got damaged.
nobody hit anything. Just the 51 went around and the 26 went around and scattered everybody.
Well, the 51 hit the 26. Mike Joy, Jesus Christ. Boom. 26 is in the fence. Gets run over by the, I think that's the 00 down there. He's got it in blimp cam.
I'm at the front of that little thing. Well, not right there.
I believe that's going to be 13. It's going to be Chris.
Chris started it.
Is there a roof cam? No, I don't think there is.
I mean, he's doing everything he can to stay off the guy.
See ya.
Jacob was just really slow right
jeez.
there. Oh. Poor Oscar. He was in everything. Also, somehow. Alternate strategy almost paid off for him. I think he would have won that race if we'd stayed green.
All right, so then we go, there's the stage.
You should watch the stage finish.
Stage finish? What was he into stage 40?
That's fucked. I'm going to stay
What
out
was
and lead
stage
a
40?
lap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, so Bryce did. Bryce went and got that extra bonus point. He was in
I
pain
tried.
on that last lap.
I tried. I needed one more lap.
God, all these cameras are like so. Yeah, they definitely used Fox cameras because they're all zoomed in.
Don't you know the only important car on the track is the leader?
Who are we looking for here on the stage finish?
Nobody. Nobody crashed at the stage. It was like 12 laps after.
Oh, somebody said I needed to see the stage finish.
I mean,
I don't know.
aside from Tristan doing everything he can to get alongside me, and I'm just running exactly fast enough to stay in front of him.
All right, looks like next one's around lap 55-ish. And who's going to be involved? You said Oscar was involved in everything, so should we just focus on him here for this?
I don't think so, because it was behind me, if I remember right. No, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember what happened.
Oh
yeah.
Oh no.
The 07 and the 74. Yep.
It's not Oscar, it's John.
Oh, that's right. Tim was ripping around the top, and I forgot that was right in front of me.
Oh, looks like he gets loose and comes down and right rears John. Oh man.
That's the third time the right front of that 74
then-
car has been in the fence.
Good old iRacing netcode makes it even worse there. And going snowplow status, checking the rear axle ratio,
inspection there.
checking what rear gear the 07's running there.
I almost crashed turning it back left up the track to make the corner because the yellow wasn't out yet.
Yeah, I almost took Keith out. I can't remember. I remember that part.
Where was Keith all night, bro?
I can't remember. He was just on the wrong strategy all night.
Oh yeah,
I
that
know he was on that one strategy where he stayed out with everyone on that first caution or whatever. That
Oh,
split the stage.
hell's bells. Hang on, boys. We have a very special guest tonight.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Holy shit,
Oh,
it's the Banana Man.
Aaron.
God, the Discord noise scared me.
You know, we're doing okay. I heard you had pizza. What kind of pizza?
Red Baron pepperoni. It's pretty good.
Nice.
Where are we at with pineapple on pizza, Aaron?
I had
I don't know. It depends on what else is on it, honestly. Like, I don't really go out of my way to have pineapple pizza, but if it was the only option I had, I would eat it.
pineapple pizza today.
Oh,
I'm a Hawaiian pizza guy, but I'm not like throwing a bunch of shit and then adding pineapple to it.
yeah.
Yeah,
Have certain things.
My
Ham, some
dad-
red onions.
My dad,
Yep.
bless his heart, he loved pineapple, or he loved Hawaiian pizza. So usually whenever we as a family, we usually get two different kinds. And so I knew one of them was going to be Hawaiian. So I don't go out of my way to order Hawaiian, but it was there, and I'd usually eat one of Hawaiian and one of whatever the other pizza we got was.
Trying to
The
get it without
pineapple
red
on
sauce
pizza
and
argument on the
Polynesian
internet
sauce
is
instead.
like the Nickelback argument. People only hate pineapple on
Wait.
pizza because people on the internet hate pineapple on pizza. It's the
I'm
same
not
thing with
gonna-
Nickelback.
I'm not going to ask
Nickelback
how he
doesn't
got
suck.
some Nickelback.
It's the same concept. People only hate Nickelback because somebody started a meme on the internet a long time ago about hating Nickelback, so it just became popular to hate Nickelback. Okay, obviously I've lost I've lost the room here.
We're all thinking right now, does Lawrence have a Nickelback CD in his truck right now?
Well, Lawrence doesn't have a truck or a CD player in his car, but San Quentin may or may not be on my playlist. But that's as far as we're gonna go. Aaron, talk us through it, brother.
Well,
How'd you get it done?
I saved my tires. That didn't really make much of a difference. I got to McHorder, couldn't get by him. Did better in the pits. Got a good enough lead. And then the caution came out, and then I was able to go full bore there on that last restart and hold him off there.
What were you doing on pit road that was so different? Because I think I was like 7 seconds behind you on the first green flag stop, and then I was like 13 seconds behind you pitting on the same lap. I was really confused. Were you just getting down pit road real good?
Yeah, I guess. And I was pitting a little earlier than everyone else, so I had that like 4 or 5, maybe 6 second difference, aside from what I was getting in the entrance and exit there. But I was getting up through the gears pretty well. Spun the tires a little bit there on the apron, but we were able to get it around there, get to fourth gear before I got to the blue cone.
Oh damn! So that's where I was losing all my time. I was like babying the thing around there.
Yep.
Josh Gwynn has a question in the YouTube chat. He said, "Where did you buy your grip hacks from?"
Man, I get this question so often. I can't disclose that.
Oh, so we did confirm that Aaron Smith is cheating.
I plead the fifth.
No, but in all seriousness, I don't understand how you drive so fast and still manage to keep the
No
tires on the
fall
fucking
off.
thing.
I have always said that has been my biggest struggle. I watched you guys up at the front, and it's, there's a handful of you guys that are just leagues ahead of everybody else, and it's like, oh well, back up your entry, take it easy on the tires. Well, I take it easy. I'm 3/4 of a second a lap slower than you, and I get to lap 20 and my right front's turned into molten lava, and you guys are still only a few tenths off your pole laps, and I'm like, how? I don't understand.
Yeah, I usually run a higher
Wall
steering
racing on a
ratio.
potato.
Oh yeah, I can't see more than 10 car lengths ahead of me. But you don't really need to see more than 10 car lengths ahead of you if you're like at the front.
If you're in the front the whole fucking time, who gives a shit?
Just turn the cars drawn ahead down to 2.
Oh yeah, like I can't. My PC will like die if I have more than 20 cars ahead of me. That's why.
Well, you're in here winning all
I've been
these money
conditioned to,
races. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't we buying a new PC? I see you all week long. Like, if there's a money race being streamed on Twitch, that
You're in
stupid,
it.
that stupid yellow number
There's
70.
a yellow 70 car somewhere in it. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to go where the money is. It goes all back into like entry fees and all of that stuff for stuff I end up losing. So all the money I make either goes into small bits of equipment or I just
Wait.
lose it.
You lose races?
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish.
Sometimes he
I
finishes
mean, he
second.
only finished 11th in the World 600 this week.
And I'm still pissed.
Starting shotgun on the field, by the way. In one of the more stacked special event fields that I've seen personally on the
Yeah, I had
fixed
no
setup
business
side.
finishing that race. I T-boned somebody on lap 50. Should have blown the motor, but
Who'd you T-bone on lap 50?
Adam Cabot, if that's his last name.
That's okay.
Yeah, the big wreck on the front stretch. It was the only real wreck they had that race, and I went and hit somebody. So it was about.
Well,
7 seconds
Potak
behind
and Blake Reynolds and Michael Griglia, right?
I don't know. I was on the
That
opposite
big-
side of the track from all those guys.
That big drama at the end where Potak passed. I know Griglia was in it.
Yeah, I should have pit earlier. Would have been in a much better position there once that caution came out. But oh well.
So are you going to be here the whole season, Aaron?
I want to. We don't really have anything else going on like in my other groups as far as Saturday nights go, so I should be able to make the rest of the season. But at this point, I don't really have much of a choice because I've gone and won the first 2 races, so I'm in a pretty good spot right now. It'd be a waste to throw it away like that.
Fucking annoying.
Yeah, get yourself one of those fancy rings. Are we doing rings or what are we doing trophy for season
think
7?
Mark, I don't remember. Mark
Is there
cried and
if Aaron
wins,
is there a bronzed banana that we can buy?
I can find a banana trophy for when Aaron gets into. How are you doing in RTP this year? Are you
I'm
competitive?
getting stomped. Like I don't have any support. I bought setups like an idiot, and they're pretty good, but I just haven't been able to use them properly.
Where did you buy setups from?
Elite.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. Well,
quite a
there's
bit
your
of
first
money.
mistake. There's your.
No, I mean the setups have been good. I just haven't really worked on them at all. Like I've just been using
Yeah.
the baselines, and it's just been tight the whole time. So once the truck gets loosened out, I start running better, and then I crash. So
RTP is just such a pain in the. I've never actually run it myself, but I crew chiefed it for 2 years for one of my teammates, and that shit is just fucking terrible. I don't know why anybody puts themselves through that shit.
Yeah, it's just from a very surface level. Like it seems like so much time that you have to put into that kind of level. Like the Coke guys, it's just like how do you? They're in a whole nother world. Like they've got formal practices all week, and they've got actual engineers and shit. And it's like, what?
yeah, I'd probably be in a better spot if I took some of those hours of practice and actually worked with them. But
I was gonna say, are you associated with any of the bigger teams, the NFRs, the Dead Zones, any of those guys?
no, everybody I reached out to was full.
Typical. This guy just goes out here and wins like 60% of the money races he's in. No, ain't got time for that guy. Because you're not running a fixed at 12 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I don't run official anymore. It's just been road to pro and a few road course races, maybe a few super speedways over the last 2 years. Done maybe about 20 races.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing wrong. I'm doing too much official.
That's not what you're doing wrong. Don't even get me started on the list of shit you're doing
Yeah,
wrong.
let's get the notebook out here.
Oh, all right. What else do we need to look at? We had this long green flag run.
What
Did
are we
look
under
at the
caution
wreck
for right
after-
here?
Yeah. Did we look at the wreck after the restart? Aaron, we're kind of just going through the race right now, and we're giving our opinions because you already told Skylar all the cool shit you did to be faster than all of us as usual.
I mean, honestly, the secret is to just crash and practice as much as you can so you can figure out where you can push the car and where you can't. What you can do with the tires. Just work from there.
Yeah. I haven't quite figured that out yet.
So here's the restart. Good God, McWhorter's with a big jump there. Are we doing restart zones?
Yeah. Restart zone was on for this race. They've pretty much fixed it. And I'm glad that nobody
He
got
is
penalties because the leader chose the outside pretty much every time. And you're kind of at a disadvantage when the leader chooses the outside because you can't beat the guy to the line.
Oh.
And from second.
I see trouble.
Oh yeah, this is the Oscar, me, and Brian.
Oh, yeah, that's the one that I watched in my rearview mirror. I couldn't believe that one happened because he just didn't get on the gas or something.
That's.
Is this the 60?
Oh, he checks up big time.
Oh, what the fuck? I need another beer before we unpack this one.
That's what I'm saying.
What happened there? Did he miss a shift or something?
I think Brian got his left front tire on the apron, and he would try to correct it, and they got on the brakes.
He gets off the gas.
No, that car's cut off.
Oh,
that car is not under power. Okay, let's go back and play that again. I'll bring the audio up on it a little bit.
I hope my 2-year-old knows how to cook because both her poor parents are going to be hungover as fuck in the morning.
Yeah, the ignition switched off. Or didn't. I see the switch is still up, but...
I mean, that car just cut out.
That's weird.
Did his pedals disconnect or something? Does he hit the brake right away?
No, usually if a peripheral comes out or comes off, the fucking wheel locks hard in one direction, and
yeah, usually left.
It's usually right.
Yeah.
It's usually not the way the corner's going.
There's no way to see pedal inputs or anything like that, is there?
No, you can't see other driver's telemetry, which I think is stupid. I think Nim would have a lot less work to do.
If you
yes,
zoom,
parenting goals indeed.
If you zoom out enough on your POV, can you see the feet? Because some cars, the feet move, some they don't.
I don't think this one does.
I'm pretty sure it does.
I feel like the older models are the ones where it does, but they recently updated this one.
At this rate, I'm staying off this. Skylar's talking about the F1 racing chat. At this point, I'm staying off Discord until about 2:30 tomorrow afternoon when I actually have a chance to go back and watch the fucking race. Because ain't no way I'm getting up for green at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, you can't. No. The pedals don't move.
What's the motor do?
Acts like it lost all power.
I think he was just lifting for the corner. Honestly,
no, I mean that's
he didn't get up to speed, and then he lifted out way more than he needed to on a restart.
Like that's just fully off the gas. That's odd. Like it's like it sounds like the engine cuts off. Like he hit like an ignition button or something. Does the ignition switch actually physically
toggle,
move?
Yeah,
it actually does physically move.
But does it do it in replays?
Who knows? Either way, the 60 was slow. Bryce forgot where his brake pedal is once again.
Well, if he would have touched the brake, the car behind him would have.
This is the crazy thing. The whole entry, I'm 50% brake, no throttle on entry. That's how crazy that is. I'll take a picture of my replay with my telemetry. I'm never on the gas on the entry of the corner.
So you do have a brake pedal?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking for all the people you've arc braked this season.
Yeah. I told you, I'm taking over Key Spot this season.
Jesus, God.
There's a wreck on there.
Poor Keith is going to get himself run over. He's slowing down for wreck so hard these days. That's just, yeah. He's just way too slow right there. I mean, you can see every car in front of him pulling. And Oscar Jensen and John Barry involved again. It's tough.
I mean, I don't think more. Oscar's just going to run me over. He was right there behind me.
Yeah. I think the next wreck is the one that saved Oscar and Bryce for sure. Bryce was barely going to finish. Probably wasn't going to finish in the top 10 if the last caution didn't come out. Because we were coming.
That's
Aaron,
an
were you gonna
interesting
catch
one
Oscar
for sure.
on that
Oh,
last
yeah,
run?
I was gaining about
You
a
were?
second a lap on him.
Yeah. I
2
figured
more
as
laps.
much.
Oscar wasn't going to make it on fuel.
It would have
Really?
been pretty close. I
I
was
think
reading
he
about
makes
50
it.
laps to the tank.
I pitted a lap after him, and I was 2 laps short.
His lap times from the jump he was saving though. You could tell he came off pit road the first time was running like low 32s, and then he came off pit road the last time it was like mid 32s. He was about 3 tenths slower a lap.
If
Yeah,
this
okay.
He was
wreck
saving.
was not a hardware problem, I'm calling this the bonehead move of the race.
Oh, Brian Foster, the What an Idiot Award for Nicky Bobby.
Yeah, I don't know how to explain that one because that was.
That's a pit stop. Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
it
you
was
guys
like-
went green after that.
Yeah,
So
I
like
made
18 to
bad
go,
decisions.
That late yellow. Yeah, right
Nicky
here.
Bobby has Mattia Bonato on the pit box. Go figure.
If
All right.
if it would have went green to the end, I would have
51.
been in a good spot.
51, so we need to look at here.
Yeah. I think,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would have not had to pit. I
Keep
would have
going.
been
Keep going back
good.
because this starts way before that.
Couple
There
laps
you go.
before.
No. One more. Go one more forward. Go one more forward. One more lap forward. 138. So I'm lapping him, and he let the guy before me go on the bottom. And the reason he had to check up for me when I tried to run that any higher, my shit was getting fucking tighter than frog pussy, and I was in the fence. So what the fuck?
He just gets run over by the 07.
I
Yeah.
think both me and Lawrence are beating Nick in the swear counter right now.
Well, I mean, I tagged it last week as not safe for work, so I don't know what you guys want from me.
Yeah, it asked me if this stream is for kids, and I definitely selected no. It is not.
It's 2 a.m. on the East Coast. The fucking kids better be in bed.
Valid.
But no,
Shoot, Oscar.
he just ran. He went low in the tri-oval, and after he had let whoever lapped him the lap before that pass on the inside, so like I couldn't run all the way up against the wall because I was running the snot out of it, and then Hendry is just on fresh tires here. He had pit even later than I had. So
Yeah, you could hear that he was out of the gas, trying to do everything he could to
Yeah,
keep from
I mean-
getting into him.
like again, I feel like I say this every time we talk about Jacob. The guy's just trying to get out of the way, right? But he always finds himself in exactly the wrong spot at exactly the wrong time, at least once a week. So, and then we had a good long little 15 lap shootout to the end, which was enjoyable.
Well,
Finally got to actually drive the car hard for the first time.
Joseph
ever.
said he was upset at the start. Says his race
Joseph
got
says a
messed
lot
up.
of things. Oh yeah. The 97 was out of tires.
97 was out of everything, including internet.
He was out of his AOL discs.
Oh my god, you are fucking old.
I had them too, don't worry.
Josh has the 97
You said-
peaked on console. I mean, so did I, but here
Remember
we are.
they used to come with like a box of Cheerios.
Oh yeah,
You've got
they would
mail.
they would give those CDs out to everybody that had a pulse.
I don't know how they were making any money.
That's why they're bankrupt.
I think yeah, he just lights them up.
You know, he
Didn't do
didn't
anything
really
bad, he
get
just
that
doesn't-
bad of a start. Like it
He
wasn't
just
that
didn't
awful.
really get going. Oh, the
And where
51
did-
peaked on console.
Where did he? Oh, he ended up 10th. I was say I was watching that last little bit. Like, he wasn't awful in the way. Like, you could tell he was slower on the old tires, but he was not by any means like he did not do what we see in a lot of the official races where some dingus decides they've been running 23rd all night and they're going to stay out on a green white checker and think it's going to work.
Tyler wants to know if the 32 choked this one away. What's everybody's opinion?
No.
I say no.
No.
No, I don't want to say it was a choke away. That was track position and where they lined up on the restart was critical, and it wasn't anything anybody did wrong. But Joseph just had the misfortune of being behind the 97 on the restart, and Aaron was able to get enough of a jump that he was able to get clear of him before 32 was able to get down behind him.
You know he's thinking about taking the bullets out of the gun as soon as Gary asked for the outside, though. Like, the last thing I would want is the 97 on 13 lap tires restarting in front of me. I had the 13 on fresh tires, and I didn't want him starting in front of me either, because I promise you, every restart, Christopher lit the tires up.
And to be fair, like, if you're in the 97 shoes, if you're picking inside or outside, I'd probably pick outside too, because I feel like that'd probably be the easiest way for me to make sure that I'm not. I know that those fast guys are going to be ripping the bottom. Outside, so I can arc it into one.
Buddy, you could make so much time on the outside. Luke, the last 5 laps, didn't even know there was a white line on the racetrack. He was running so high in 1 and 2 anyway.
Well, yeah, if you only have a 15 lap run, like that was what I noticed in our practice the other night, was if you didn't care that you had to go more than 15 or 20 laps, then yeah, the time was there. The car was way faster up there, but just the right front tire just hated your guts.
YouTube chat wants to know where Mark Arthur was tonight.
Writing code to send the sim, whatever.
Checking his netcode file.
Come over to Gary.
He was talking a whole lot in Discord, saying nothing but negative things, and then not showing up to race. That's where Mark Arthur was tonight. But anywho, so that's all our incidents. Pretty clean, a lot cleaner. I mean, I said last week we don't go longer than 20 laps. I'm sure he will. I'm sure Mark will watch the read. And if he does, I mean, truth hurts. This is a natural light fueled podcast from this end, anyway. So you get what you get.
And I'm just going to ask a technical question. If he's saying that we need to update our INI files or something to prevent the netcode, does every driver in the field have to have that updated thing? Like,
but here's the netcode contact happens.
If 10 people do it and there's 20 people on the racetrack, what good does it do?
It's only for the replay, right? So like, what actually happens on track is actual netcode contact. The only thing that changing that one line in the INI file does is shows you what the servers think is happening versus what
we actually saw.
Your end. So like, I didn't hit Luke last week, but the server thought we did. Did I get tight under there? Yeah. Did I wash up under there? Yeah. I didn't actually hit him.
I'd like to see what happened between Bustle and the 97 with what the server was thinking.
It just threw his hands up in the air and goes, "We have no fucking clue what's happening right now."
No, Skylar says no netcode file change is stopping what happened to Bustle tonight. Michael Bustle was wrongly murdered in cold blood by the internet.
An entire car length away from the guy. Did it just like for some reason think that his car scaled up 50 degrees and then went back down? Like,
who fucking? You can't tell where Gary Smith is on the track 3/4 of the fucking times.
Hell, he killed half the fans at the entrance to turn 4.
So did Aaron. Aaron was doing backflips over the catch fence.
Hey, now I only did it 3 times.
Aaron
Three
was in my
times too
cock-
many, in my humble opinion. But hey, you won the race and didn't hurt anybody, so
Yeah.
here we are.
Aaron was in my cockpit for like 3 laps straight, and then out of nowhere, I'm ahead of him. Like, I don't know how or where or when I passed him, but I was ahead of him when I came out of pit road on fresh tires.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you already passed me before then. I don't.
No,
yeah,
I was
don't
running
remember
behind
being
you.
behind me and then appearing in front of me, because all of the cars disappeared. So even if you hit me or something, I wouldn't have known.
Oh, okay. I basically drove through you then.
Oh, well, that's all right. I didn't get a 4X or anything, so it's cool.
And you won the
Well-
race, so he's like, I mean, you drove through my car all you want. I still won the race, so.
At least he didn't drive. At least he didn't drive through you the same way he drove through me last week, Aaron. You got that going for you, which is nice.
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, fellas. Well, that's all the incidents. Aaron won the race. Again. We'll probably be saying the same thing next week, and the week after that, and the week after that.
I
Mm-hmm.
don't know about
Um,
that. I think 3 might be my limit.
You
3.
gotta-
We're gonna
gotta
make you
throw
start
a
at the back at Michigan if
Whitley
you
and
win
a
again.
quarter in there.
Kerry Smith has better internet than Ben Shelton.
The bar is in the basement.
That is not a bar that takes any clearing.
That is a pothole.
No,
not
what
a bar.
that is that is a 1 bar hotspot on a phone.
Oh heavens!
That is toggling back to 3G on 1 bar.
All right, let's
Picks.
Sonoma road course. No, we're not at picks yet. We got to look
Nah.
ahead. We got to look ahead. Sonoma. We'll start with Bobby. Are you gonna race?
Yes, that's the plan.
All right, we'll start with Bobby.
Well, I'm definitely going to be putting some laps in this week. Definitely trying to see how comfortable I can get. I've always felt
YouTube chat on fleek right now.
Starlink changes lives. Well, it depends on if it's attached to Starship, because then it's in the Gulf of Mexico right now, and in the back of a Dodge Caravan. Anyways, I'm curious to see how that's going to go. There's a different league that I ran a few years ago when I first jumped into iRacing that we used the ARCA cars, and the one league win of any leagues I've ever driven was Watkins Glen in the ARCA car. Now
This ain't the ARCA car.
Yeah,
No, it ain't.
so
No, it
it's
ain't.
not. It's not the ARCA car, and this field is a lot more stacked than that league was at that time that I was in. So I'm not saying I'm going to go out and win the race. However, I will say that I enjoy road courses, and I definitely am going to run a good bit of laps this week and make sure that I'm comfortable as I can be, and then we'll just see what happens. I want to just get a good finish. Obviously, I missed tonight. If I can get another top 10, that would be a win for me. Just bring it home clean. If I can do top 10, I'll take that and run.
All right, let's go with the Banana Man. What are we thinking about Sonoma? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good about it. If the past few road course races we've had has been any indication, I think I'll have a pretty good result. But haven't tried the high horsepower there yet, aside from maybe 1 or 2 laps I've turned. But if anybody crosses me, I have a few shortcuts planned out.
Okay.
Which
Now he's really cheating.
which layout are we running? Are we running
good
carousel? Are we running carousel
The
or
good
shoot?
one. The good one.
Okay.
The carousel is the stupidest corner in all of NASCAR. Changed my mind.
Even
I
NASCAR
agree.
got rid of it after 2 years.
Bryce.
Turn 1 and 2 at Texas.
Turn 1 and 2 in Texas are great on the sim. Just because you all hate Texas, or just because you all can't drive it.
Meteor strike is the only thing that can save that.
I'm gonna bulldoze your house, Bryce. What are you feeling like at the old road course out there in Nikki's neck of the woods?
Send a prayer, and I'm gonna hope everyone backs out. That's the only way I'm gonna get a top 10 like I do every season. I still can't race a road course to save my life.
Okay, well there you go, Bryce Shoemaker, 50 laps down at the end of the thing. Nikki, you're coming home. We're all coming to visit you next weekend.
Yeah, it's my home track. So I've actually taken this car there already, ran a couple 15-lap stints. I'm actually surprised with how well it handles. Like, it'll throw you around, but you got to make it. I think we're going to have a good race. I'm hoping for a top 5, maybe.
Shooting for the stars for Nikki Bobby.
Damn.
What's your road course record like in this league?
In this league? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Not
Probably
not the
better than
greatest.
mine because I step on myself all the time at road courses.
So I think the last 2 of them I finished on the lead lap. I'm not sure about that. Total
That's
was
impressive.
terrible.
Considering how fast
Sonoma, maybe? I don't know.
I stuffed myself in the fence trying to race Nick Post off the stage restart, but we're not going to talk about it. I love road courses. I might actually get an interview on the broadcast next week, maybe. But I'm just excited to go somewhere where I am going to be better than my teammates because they've been whipping my ass. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Going to chase I got a feeling we're going to be chasing the 70 and the 77. Probably the 32 as well, but hopefully this thing actually eats tires on a road course. So he'll wind up not Post Fuller. He'll probably wind up burning his shit off because his right foot's way too heavy. I'm looking forward to it. Top 5 is definitely on the cards next week. I think we're gonna keep the top 5 streak alive.
Hey, you're 2 for 2 on the top 5.
I am, and I came into this season going, I'm not going to compete at all this year, and I've finished 5th twice somehow. So we're gonna hopefully keep it.
Whatever
going.
happened with points?
Oh yeah, let's do points. Let's look at points.
Here, let me see if I can find a way to
Forgot
pull it
about
up
that
on
second.
screen
We
real quick.
got
Skylar on it.
Aaron Smith.
Oh man, Skylar's doing the
16
job, and we're
points
not
ahead of Christopher.
I'm in a playoff position. This is the best I've been after 2 weeks and like 3 seasons.
I only dropped 1 place. I'm okay with that.
Nice.
Gary Smith gained 8 spots on the points this week. That's impressive. Skylar, how many have we taken to the playoffs this year?
10, I believe, isn't it?
10? Okay.
We actually got a tiebreaker now.
Yeah, there's tiebreaker rules.
So
You're welcome.
Aaron 2 for 2, obviously, pretty much max points. The only points you're missing is fastest lap. Those are the only points you haven't gotten all year.
Oh, that's an option.
Yeah, you get a point for going purple. Christopher, 31, like really low 31-0.
There we go. All right, so I got it up on. I believe I have it up on screen here. Point standings.
Not a lot's changed. Mark Whitley is 23rd in points. Somebody take a screenshot because didn't think that was ever going to happen. Bobby took a big hit.
I am ahead of Mark in points right now, so definitely take a screenshot.
Bobby's that guy in the 3rd place in the podium, spraying champagne in his face and chewing on the metal.
Absolutely, I am.
I was Peck in 9th. Mickey in 8th. Nothing really stands out to me though, except for Mark. Obviously, Aaron is just gonna drive out of our lives. We can pretty much call the season.
I feel like Bryce being outside the top 10, like he definitely gained back some spots this week versus he was in a little bit of a hole last week. So we'll see if Bryce can work his way back up. Where he was top 10 last year, right?
Yeah, Bryce was a playoff car.
Yeah, I finished 3rd in the standings last season.
This guy scored he won a prize last year. Jesus Christ, get this guy. This guy a contract. There's got to be an ARCA car with somebody less talented than Bryce in it right now, right?
Got
sorry, I don't got that Eddie's money.
True.
Our rookie Gary Smith's running 7th in points right now. So if we can find a way to get him to a local Best Buy to acquire an Ethernet cable,
I was gonna say, if that kid could get his connection issues figured out, he'd be dangerous on a whole different kind of plane.
Yeah,
he's been running well.
He's been running really well. I was not expecting that, especially when we found out how old he is. I was like, at some point, the rails are going to come off of this, and so far, other than his internet, he's held his own. So
He's young. He's got quick reaction time. That's what he's got going for him.
yeah, I'm old and I don't have quick reaction time, so
We know, Bobby.
that's definitely a problem I have
the
to
only
overcome.
reason we get a 90 lap run tonight is because you're not here.
Facts.
Kidding. That's me. That's mean. Other than that, things are pretty normal. I'll be interested to see after the road course. Nobody really stands out as a ringer on the road course. I know Oscar was pretty quick last year in the Xfinity car.
I think he was actually.
Yeah, I don't think a whole lot's going to change until after we go to Michigan. I think Michigan will be a different kind of race. These cars on 2 miles are nuts.
I'm really
They're
looking forward to that
wild.
one.
I'm looking forward to that one. That's going to be fun.
All right. So, anybody watch the Xfinity race today?
Caught the tail end of it.
Ryan
Yeah.
Ryan Truex taking him to the woodshed at
How-
one of his 6 home tracks because the Truex boys, if it's above
Always-
the Mason-Dixon line, it's their home track.
I'm jealous of the flow that Ryan Truex Jr. has going on there, for sure.
Best hair in NASCAR,
Oh, yeah.
bar none. I thought the race was interesting. Looking at the way the tires are degrading on the Cup cars, they're cording after 10 laps. I think we might have a Bristol night race situation.
Goodyear making a shit tire? No way.
Hey. Nobody hates
I have
Goodyear
never.
Speedway Eagles more than Oscar Jensen, and he proved it the way he drove by me.
Tony Stewart.
That's true. We're not going down the fat Tony rabbit hole again. We'll be here till we'll be here till green flag at the Grand Prix. Thought it was a pretty good race. Cup practice was disappointing for me. My driver managed to back it into the fence and slap out. So
After finishing
There's that.
last week.
yeah, and then the metric set the lineup because the rain came before qualifying. So Kyle Busch out there, the RCR bookending the field tomorrow at the start of the race.
Don't
Which
worry.
is
Kyle quickly
not-
dropped back from what I've seen from practice.
Well, they'll figure it out eventually. He doesn't need to win, so they can just try shit.
Looking forward to see how Alex Bowman handles the. Oh shit!
Oh, wait a minute, dude! That crap. Look, I was watching that race, and the way Flo covered it, they had the camera on Morel pretty much the whole time that he was flipping, and then you just see Alex's car come into like the bottom corner of the screen, and it
Yeah.
was like 6 feet in the air, and it lands flat. I was like, oh my god, I know that hurt. But Rick Hendrick in shambles.
I thought it was interesting. Every once in a while, I do dispense cancer into my ears by listening to Sirius NASCAR radio during the day.
After TMD,
But-
turn it off. Just turn it off.
I get a kick out of listening to Moody argue with people, not because he's right, but just because it's like it's such a disaster you can't help it. Like keep watching. You don't want to turn away. A lot of the questions of should we let Cup drivers run other stuff, I think the question that nobody that I heard ask, and this is a genuine and sincere question, at what point do we need to look into the safety aspect of sprint cars in general? Because we have, not only did Alex get hurt, we have 2 or 3 fatalities a year, it seems like, in between winged sprint cars, non-winged sprint cars, between Outlaws and USAC and all that. We lost Jason Leffler in one of those. Shane Meal had his career ended. I know his NASCAR career was over, but he was working his way back. He was lining up an IndyCar ride. And then he got hurt and paralyzed. Like, this is something that I feel like when Dale Earnhardt died in 2001, Bill France said, "I don't give a shit what it takes. Never lose another driver in my cars." And like the car of tomorrow or not, but NASCAR put safety on the forefront and said, "We don't give a shit about anything else other than safety." Dirt oval, it's like they're it's
they
like
put a
they
wing
just
on the back
shrug
of the
their
car to make them fly when they
they just
Yeah, Brian Keselowski
shrug.
got dropped on his head on the front of the wall. in Atlanta.
Like, we don't talk about the wing on the COT. That was. I feel like nobody talks about. I feel like we don't. The question needs to be asked: What do we need? What do we need to do to revolutionize safety in dirt oval? Because we can say all we want about, oh well, we don't want these cup guys going out and running all these. Well, what about the guys that this is their livelihood week in and week out? Like, they're just like, yeah, you know what? I could get my skull crushed in next week.
Here's my thing. I don't really want to get into the safety aspect of it because I'm a firm believer in you know what you signed up for. If you were worried about dying, you would go run a late model or a UMP mod where you're not going to flip over, and B, if you do, you've got a full cage around you. There was like 4 guys that flipped at 34 in the high limit race, and Casey Cade managed to drive directly into Blake Hahn after the yellow was out, but we're not going to talk about that. I feel like it was just more of a freak thing. Like, Colin Morrell flipped that car higher than Alex did. I'm pretty sure Colin Morrell's car was I think that's his name. I know his last name's Morrell. I'm pretty sure Morrell's car was like 10 feet in the air at the peak of his flip. And he just happened to come down on top of the wing, and he was fine. Obviously, the Justin Owen thing, correct me if I'm wrong.
That car just came to a stop.
I mean, that's like hitting a Jersey barrier on the highway at 70 mile an hour. I don't care how much safety you have in the car.
Nothing's
That's
gonna help.
internal issues, not anything other than that.
Those worst ones are always qualifying because they have the whole track to themselves, and they can
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it just so happened that Alex landed perfectly right that he got hurt. So does it suck? Yes. Can you make a sprint car safer? Probably not. Do I want to see the World of Outlaws completely go away from a 410 sprint car and go down to something like a 305 or a 360? No. Absolutely fucking not. My biggest, you brought up NASCAR radio. My biggest issue with talking heads in this sport in general is 5 days, or actually exactly 7 days before the Alex Bowman news drops that he gets hurt, is TMD open their show with Pete Pistone doing I get in the car about 7:20 every morning, so I get like the news and notes of what they missed after they went off the air or whatever. With the morning drive, and Pete Pistone took 2 minutes out of the morning to talk about Kyle Larson winning his first time out of the door in a UMP mod at Flow Racing Night in America. Only to a week ago or a week later sit there and say, oh, I don't want to see these guys run this stuff. I don't want to see him outside of a car. If I'm owner Pete Pistone, I'm not letting my guy drive. Excuse me? You spent 2 minutes talking about how good Kyle Larson was at Eldora last week, literally a week ago. Like, you can pull the receipts. And that's the issue. Like, all the talking heads, and they all said the same thing. Chocolate Myers, John Roberts, Danielle Trotta, Moody, I'm pretty sure, got in there on it too, where we don't want to see these guys run. But I completely disagree, because first of all, these guys are addicts.
Oh yeah,
they have to race.
Bowman is like, he's had a grin from ear to ear every time they ask him about that sprint car. And he's got people, oh, well, the sponsors, what sponsor was all over that car?
The same sponsor the side of the fucking car.
That was
They
Ally
put
all over that dirt car. Like the
put a
Ally is
Hendrick car
very much
sticker on the
aware of
au-
what he's doing.
They put a HendrickCars.com sticker on the Allgaier UMP mod that Kyle ran at I think it was it Brownstown? Wherever they ran like Brownstown and somewhere else a couple weeks ago for Flow Racing Night in America. Tuesday, Wednesday. And first of all, am I turning that race on Flow knowing that Kyle Larson's not in that field? Honestly, probably not. Am I signing up? You know, am I going to turn? Oh, I'm going to watch Jonathan Davenport and Marlowe run around. No, I want to see where Kyle finishes. It's putting eyes to those guys.
Absolutely.
That are running around the Midwest, tearing shit up. And that's
And
what they do. A lot of tearing shit up.
One of the points of view I heard on that was it was somebody that was at that race, and they were like, the whole place was lit up because Alex Bowman, Cup Series driver, came to our little hole in the wall in the middle of a frickin' cornfield or wherever it was, and came and raced our racetrack. Like for all those little mom and pop racetracks, like that is what they need, is the big names coming in and popping in on a Tuesday night and putting butts
Probably
in
not
those
even
seats
just the
and
tracks, but those towns. Like the amount of business that went to restaurants and all that shit after the race.
Right. And the stands were packed. I mean, there's 52 and let's not forget, Kyle Larson was in that field because it's his fucking series. Him and Brad Sweet put that show on every couple weeks. They go to Kokomo on Tuesday this week on Flow. Check that out. That'll be a fun race. Kokomo's a cool racetrack. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. was there too. The only thing that gets talked about if Alex Bowman doesn't flip his shit over is where they ran. So I'm sorry, you're not going to sit here and tell me that, oh, I don't like the fact that these guys go out and run on Tuesdays because they get paid billions of dollars to run on Sundays. Kiss my ass. These guys, first of all, Alex Bowman's got like 3 sprint cars. He's got his team runs in Woo. He's got a couple guys that runs for him in World of Outlaws. We lost Casey Kane well before we should have because Rick Hendrick said, "Nah, you're not going to go run the dirt stuff," and that's all he wanted to do. So he said, "Screw this! I've made my money. I'm just going to go take KKR out on the road." And you got guys like Ricky Stenhouse who has a sprint car team. He's got guys in World of Outlaws. The same. Look at Brad Sweet's car. What's on the wing of that on Brad Sweet's 49?
Napa.
What's on Jonathan Davenport's 49? Nutrient Ag. You know where else we see those cars? Or know where else we see those sponsorships? Sundays. Obviously, the sponsors don't mind. Because you're right. Alex Bowman, that thing is purple, blue. You put his sprint car and his cup car next to each other, they look exactly the same.
The sponsors also don't mind because terrible way of looking at it, but when these drivers get hurt and then they get that replacement driver for a few weeks, that's a storyline that's going to be on TV, and it's going to get that car on TV more anyways.
I'm sorry,
Like,
you
it's
think the
all money
48's
for
going to
that.
be on TV this week unless he's running up front without Josh Berry in the car? No. I can't remember the last time I saw Alex Bowman on a cup broadcast unless he was in the top 3. But they're going to put a camera on Josh Berry to see how he's doing because they know he's coming up to the Cup Series next year.
Yeah, exactly.
And Gary brings up a good point in chat. He says it's cool to see the different talents in the Dirt Series, though. Yeah, it is. But quite frankly, I don't care nearly as much if the battle for the battle for the lead in a sprint car race is between Blake Hahn, Brad Sweet, and Rico Abreu. You know when I care about where Rico Abreu is running? Chili Bowl. That's the only time I care. And it's just like William Byron and late model stuff. You think half as many eyes are on Volusia Speedway if William Byron's not out there running the Hendrick cars late model during speed weeks? No. These guys bring attention to these racetracks and bring attention to the overall sport of racing.
And
we want motorsports to grow.
And we're losing tracks hand over fist. And
I mean, Rockford
we
Speedway's been in
absolutely-
Illinois for like 80 years, and they're shutting that bitch down.
Dude,
after this
I-
year.
I've been meaning to, and this is a little bit on me for not following
I've
up
been
on
there,
this,
I've never
but
been to a race there.
Don't
We
support
had-
your local dirt track.
we
or local
had
short track.
when I
bodies.
was a kid, we had Manzanita Speedway, and my dad would sneak me into the infield in the back of the ambulance because he was one of the paramedics out there. I was like 7. You're supposed to be 16 to be in the infield. I was 7 years old, getting snuck into the infield at Manzanita. Those are some of the coolest memories I have. Want to know what Manzanita is now? It's a fucking crane factory. Like, I wish that I
USA
could
and Lakeland.
take. I
It's an
wish that
Amazon
I could
distribution
take.
center now.
Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
that I could take my kids that I have. Like, I took them to a truck race a couple years ago, and their eyes were popping out of their head at how awesome it was. But NASCAR weekends are expensive as shit. Whereas I've got probably about 20 minutes up the road from me, I've got Canyon Raceway. And I don't know how much longer it's going to be around. It's on state trust land, and the state has been kind of getting rid of that shit because Phoenix is growing so fast. The houses are getting closer and closer. You know, I need to be able to get out there and support that place while it's still around. But yeah, there's
You
these
don't
tracks
like
all over
Illinois,
the
don't
country.
live near a racetrack. I don't understand that, like how that concept doesn't.
That's a
fucking
whole other
exist.
conversation that we can spend another half hour talking
Oh,
about.
God,
But
easily.
over
let's
two.
not.
So, bottom line, for anybody listening, I'm going to end my rant about the whole cup drivers not driving dirt and this, that, and the other. Let them run. If they get hurt, so be it. They know what these guys sign up for. Is Alex Bowman out of the car for 3 weeks? Yes. Is it going to matter? No, because the 48 car is going to win a race this year. Mark it down. I said
Gotta hope it does.
245 on April 30th. He's going to get a waiver. Let Chase Elliott go snowboarding. Let Kyle Larson flip as many dirt late models and dirt sprint cars and whatever he wants to do. Go run third because he's been getting his ass whipped this year. Outside that UMP modified, I didn't see one anything. And the late model challenge
Kitty.
with Davenport. Let them all do it and go support your local short track
Yes, absolutely.
because we're losing Rockford this year. Greenville Pickens is probably not going to be around a whole lot longer. And you want to talk about a place with a lot of history. Greenville Pickens is where NASCAR started.
Yes. Yeah.
And next it's going to be the Hickories and the Southern Nationals, and Gary's has better internet than the first 40 presidents. Well, you haven't had better than the last 6, so figure it out. We're going to start losing the places that really matter. If it wasn't for COVID, North Wilkesboro wouldn't exist. We would not be going racing there. So go support your local short tracks.
This goes with drag strips too. They're closing.
They closed down
Oh, crap.
Atlanta. What would Atlanta Dragway? The place in Houston where Texas 2K always was.
Bandamir's
Sacramento
closing.
Speedway's been struggling for like the past 3 years. They're on their third. last
Bandamir's
season.
Bandamir's closing at the end of
Bandamir's
this season.
closing.
I'm losing Firebird here in Phoenix. Firebird's getting closed up and bulldozed just for no fucking reason.
If it wasn't for SMI, ZMAX would probably not exist anymore. Just go support your local racetracks because we're going to lose them all, and then we're going to have to pay out the yin yang to go see NASCAR. Well, you guys are.
120
winningest owner in NASCAR history, so I don't pay. But
Somehow Irwindale keeps getting saved at the last moment, both the drag strip and the
that's not going to last forever.
No, it's not.
I mean, don't
I
be
don't
shocked
know
if
what
Auto
they're
Club
talking about
never
doing.
becomes a short track.
Yeah, that scares me. The way the way they've changed their phrasing about Fontana is like, oh, come on, guys, don't do that. Like, I know we're losing the 2 mile, but now they're talking about nothing at all. It's like, God damn it. Because that was another race that I could go to. LA's 6.5-ish hours from me. Yeah, I'm going to be down to where all I've got left is Phoenix.
And rant. We've talked about moving forward.
We're 2 hours into this right now.
We've got one more piece of one and a half more pieces of business to handle before we call it a night. Race picks. One for sure because it's in the desert and it never rains in Azerbaijan. And then we might be racing on Thursday before who knows before we go to
Jeez.
Kansas out there in Delaware.
It's that bad. I haven't even looked. I've been so
Nah,
freaking busy the last few days.
Forecast looks okay for Monday, but we may or may not be racing Cup. Who did we start with last? I feel like we started with Nikki last, or no, we started with McCorder last week. So let's go to our Aaron. Who you got? Whenever they run the Cup race? We'll call it Sunday for right now.
I'll go with Larson.
Larson like that.
Larson?
And
Will
F1.
he be on your? Will he be on your fantasy team?
Oh shoot, I don't know. I don't really do fantasy.
Okay.
And who you got in Baku in about 4 hours?
Shoot, I don't watch Formula One, so I'll say Verstappen.
Okay, that's a good pick. I like that pick. I like both of his picks. I can't talk any trash about either one of his picks. Bryce, who you got? If you say Kyle Busch, you're fired.
Yeah, he's gonna suck. I'm gonna go Christopher Bell this Sunday or
See
Monday.
Bell.
C Bell. What about out there in the rights and lefts out there in the desert?
I don't know. I don't watch, so I'd have to probably go with the safe bet of Verstappen as well.
Okay, I like it. He's not on pole, but pole position doesn't translate to wins in Baku very often. Gary Smith has Brad Keselowski. Now,
Big surprise.
That's not an awful pick.
It's
Now-
not for Dover.
we started this whole we're doing picks thing with me talking shit on everybody's picks
You
last
didn't
week.
talk shit on my pick. And
I can't remember who you picked.
And I picked your least favorite driver.
Picked fucking Tyler Reddick. Jesus Christ.
I picked his teammate.
Hey, he was leading with
heavens.
1 to go.
Bobby never actually made a pick. He just talked about like 5 different guys that he would like to pick. Brad's an awful pick because RFK is terrible. Chris Buescher is going to be the only RFK car that wins a race this year. Brad will not win another race in his NASCAR career. You heard it here first.
Oh wow.
All right, Nikki, who you got?
Hamlin. I don't know.
Dennis? He says he's getting white hot this week.
Yeah,
He also
I'm
said that at
thinking Denny.
Martinsville, and look how that worked out. Do you think Denny can navigate pit road at 35 miles an hour, or is he going to get 3 speeding penalties again?
Don't know.
That
It'll
young
be interesting
blondie.
to hear
He
him
just picked
talking
George
about it on
Russell.
Monday, though.
Gary, you're fired. Who you got in F1? Nikki.
Perez.
Perez. Oh, I like it. Showed a lot of speed in the sprint race today.
Yeah, he did.
Bobby, give me a pick. Don't give me 6 reasons why you're not going to pick 6 different guys. Give me a pick.
A pick for Dover whenever the hell they run it. I'm going to say it's going to be an all Truex weekend. Martin Truex Jr. He's always good at Dover, and
He's always good at Dover, but so is
JGR is
Jimmy
always
Johnson,
good.
and he lost a lot. And he lost a lot of them.
True.
If I go to Sonoma, he will win there. If I don't go, somebody else will.
And then F1.
And F1,
I have not seen any of the practices. I don't know where anybody's starting. I've heard that there was a little beef with Verstappen. There was some kind of an issue. Just purely because he's pissed off at somebody in a Mercedes, I'm going to say Perez is going to win because Max is going to get either crash into somebody or get taken out.
Get into
But
his
I
own
preface,
head.
but I preface it by saying I have not watched a single second of F1 this weekend, so I have no idea.
well, Aaron took my Cup pick because I wanted Kyle Larson, but my secondary pick is a guy that got hot. He's kind of cooled off a little bit, but he's going to come back this weekend. Give me the 24 in the big hat, victory lane, probably Wednesday when they finally get this race in. Yeah, Willie B. He's gonna come off the schneid, and then they're gonna
Appreciate
take
you
that
picking
car.
me, Lawrence. That's an honor.
Buddy, I would never pick you
Wait a minute.
unless it's unless we're picking the guy that's gonna finish 14th.
Hey, wait a
Yeah,
minute,
give me
that's
William
fucking
Byron.
Pena.
You usually do finish in front of him, so I'll give you that. Give me Willie B for the win on Sunday. I think he's gonna come off the schneid. He's been a rough couple weeks for him, but I think he'll get off the schneid. And as far as F1 goes, I really like those Paris picks, man. But as long as Max doesn't blow a tire on the with 5 to go on the front stretch, we're gonna go with number 1, Max Verstappen, to win. And it'll probably take the checker flag in about 5 hours and 45 minutes from right now. Yeah, so they're my picks, Willie B and Max. Anybody got any closing thoughts before we sign off this 2-hour podcast? That's what it's turned into.
I was
Nick, who are you picking? Since you're back, apparently.
For F1?
F1 and Cup.
NASCAR and F1. Yeah.
Shit, I need to set my fantasy picks. Speaking of,
Yeah, me too.
I think that Bayern's a solid pick. I mean, I think that Rowdy's a solid pick. You can't sleep on Larson. I mean, who knows? You know, it one fucking wrong turn, and there goes the field, and that's a parking lot.
As long as they keep turning left, it should be fine.
You know,
Bobby,
I mean, as long as
you
they get
gave me
involved in
3
it.
different guys. Give me a name, a number, a car, somebody.
I'm gonna take Kyle Busch.
Taking Kyle
Wrong.
Busch.
I'm gonna take Kyle Busch.
That's an awful pick. RCR is terrible at anything shorter than a mile and a half.
Yeah, you should watch practice.
I mean,
That's locked in.
I don't know.
I'm gonna take Kyle Busch, and then F1. I mean, I feel like Max is the fucking obvious pick. Like, Ferrari's gonna shit the bed on strategy, and
Mercedes
hasn't fixed their car, so I mean, I want to say Verstappen at the same time. I mean, who knows? Maybe Perez will luck into it and get a win. But it's probably I'm just gonna stick with Max. It's the obvious pick. Anywhere, doesn't matter what track it is.
I don't hate it. But it feels like it. I'm picking Max. I'm not changing my pick, but it feels
Would
like
I like to see Perez win? Yeah.
It feels like a checkout kind of weekend. It really does. Really does.
I mean, he got the sprint win, right?
He did. He really. I mean, they had like 10 green flag laps the whole time. But yeah, he did get the sprint win. The beer is taking over. I can't talk anymore, boys.
That's not a call.
Bobby, take us home.
Well, it's been definitely a fun chat. I think we should kick around the idea of maybe doing like a separate standalone like bullshit show. Where we talk about like real world racing stuff. If anybody in the YouTube chat, let us know if that might be something you guys might think would be fun for us to do like sometime during the week. We can touch base on some stuff with the league, but kind of tackle some real world stuff and just kind of go on about a bunch of other stuff. Let us know if that's something you'd be interested in, but definitely an interesting race tonight from everything that I've seen, kind of scrolling through all the issues tonight. A lot cleaner, I think, than most of us expected. Definitely congrats to Aaron on the win. 2 in a row, 2 for 2 to start the season off with the yellow banana, and off to Sonoma next week, where it's okay to turn right, as opposed to what Bustle did tonight. So,
did you write that or?
No, I just made that up off the top of my head.
That's off the shiny dome, buddy.
Yep. Oh yeah, right here. Yeah, so hope everybody enjoyed the post-race show. Looking forward to doing all these every week, and I owe my son some extra Fortnite time because I kicked him off the computer because his computer's right there, and so there's no way he was going to be able to play because he gets a little feisty while I had the microphone right here. So I got to give him some extra Fortnite time tomorrow. But anyways, thanks everybody for joining in. It was fun. We're looking forward to doing this every week. I think the post-race show is a good thing for us to keep doing. Let's see if we can get it under 2 hours though. So yeah, we'll see everybody next week.
All right, everybody go buy a bottle of wine. We're going to be drinking wine on the post-race show tomorrow. See you guys.
Yes.
Or next week, not tomorrow. Next week.
Yeah. I might be wine tomorrow too. You never know.
Definitely not. See you guys.
Yes.